Today I'm going to be reviewing beginner, intermediate, and experienced what I eat in a day vegan. And I'm sure my views on vegans are well established.
Hey, I'm May, and I have been vegan now for a total of 1 whole week. I'm super new, but I'm absolutely loving it. So today I'm going to be showing you guys what I eat in a day as a brand new vegan.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Brown, and I've been vegan for 3 years now. What I'm going to do is walk you guys through what I eat in a day as a vegan.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel.
That was the dude from my very first video where it's like, I was like, how many supplements are you taking? That's funny. I don't know he's this popular.
Vegan for 6 years, and I'm going to show you everything I eat in a day.
So for breakfast, I'm making cinnamon quinoa porridge with apples and strawberries. Since I'm going to add so much food to this, I only used a fourth a cup of quinoa, and I cook that with half cup of water. So I'm just bringing that.
Why not just eat it in its raw form? It kind of shows that you don't really want it.
To oil and then letting it simmer for about 10 minutes. While this is cooking, I cut up one apple and like 5 or 6 strawberries, and then after about 5 minutes, I'm adding in a bunch of cinnamon and half of my pre-cut fruit. I like
Seems like fall themed food. The apples and strawberries are not terrible, but the huge issue with those is they're like strawberries are heavily sprayed with glyphosate, which is a neurotoxin. And then the apples are coated with a petroleum-based wax to give it the shiny look. It's not the worst, but certainly because there's no meat in the diet, for sure this is really bad.
fit to put on top after it's cooked because it adds a little bit of freshness. I don't know, it's really tasty. You might need to add a little bit more water to the mix at this point too, and then just let those hang out in there for like 5 minutes or until the quinoa's cooked. I chose to make this.
I notice people often make the argument that we've cooked food for millions of years or whatever. I don't typically disagree. It's just maybe not millions of years, but it's actually because we would cook things like this, like seeds, like wheat, barley, rye, lentils, roots, stuff like that. We would boil them down, even like bones, because we'd try to get the bone marrow out. So that's why heat would be applied to these things. It does lower the toxicity from the lectins, which are anti-nutrients, but there would be no logical reason in nature to cook meat. So
I saw something similar on my Instagram Explore page. Recently I've started following a bunch of vegan pages because I find it super helpful to get inspiration from more experienced people. This is just cinnamon apple quinoa, but I actually had strawberries in my fridge that were about to go bad, and I thought they'd be good in there, and honestly they really were. I've been getting a lot of inspiration from recipes online and then just switching them up to fit with the ingredients that I have on hand, and it's been
the red strawberries to imitate red meat. I'm sure this is missing multiple micronutrients and macronutrients. There's no animal fat, cholesterol, no fat soluble vitamins, incomplete amino acid profile, mostly just sugar, water, fiber, anti-nutrients, some glyphosate too.
a great way to try new stuff.
For breakfast, I'm making a healthy berry smoothie. So the first thing I like to put in my smoothies are some strawberries that I froze overnight, including some frozen raspberries. Next,
Raspberries are super high in oxalates, which is not very good for you, and obviously he's using red fruits because it imitates animals.
I'll add a little bit of apples, and then a desired amount of chia seeds. After I put the chia seeds in,
chia seeds have phytoestrogens, which bind to estrogen, and then produce more, so it just makes you very girly, turning the frogs gay. Oh gosh. And most of the quinoa, because it's a seed, it's heavily protected, lots of anti-nutrients, and it's hard to even get the shell open in general. So you're essentially just putting sawdust in your body.
I'll put a little bit of spring water in, and then I'll blend it all up.
Spring water is not bad. Most of the water we have today is just dead, inactive. So spring water is not terrible. Can't tell if that's glass or plastic. Preferably plastic, but yeah.
So one thing I noticed by starting my day off with something really light instead of something heavy, I'll have a more productive day. I think breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I don't know if you could really classify that as really light. I mean, it's really high in fiber. Again, an anti-nutrient. The good thing about this fruit though is it's packed in fiber, so it's very soft on the stomach. Like that of raw meat, you can't really feel it in your stomach, but insoluble fibers from things like roots, stems, leaves, stuff like that. That's really, really hard on the gut. So in some ways I could see how this is light, but at the same time, it's not even food.
As a finished product, I like to top it off with an orange peel. And ta-da!
Product.
Bon appetit.
So for breakfast, I'm going to make some healthy nut and seed granola bars. So I started off by adding some natural peanut butter to a bowl and some maple syrup.
I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but oh gosh, that's...
And then I added 2 tablespoons of a neutral oil. I would have normally used coconut oil, but I actually just ran out. So I ended up using some grapeseed oil, and that actually...
Lots of polyunsaturated fats. Those are good for you, right? Totally. Peroxidation of lipids. That seems to be very good for humans, right? And those peanuts, heavily defended with lectins because they're for the growth of the plant, not for your consumption.
Worked fine. Then I just mixed it all up and I popped the whole bowl in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Then to a big bowl, I added some puffed brown rice and some oats, pumpkin seeds, and some chia seeds and hemp seeds, which are a great vegan source of omega-3s, and a little bit of salt.
Oh my gosh, this is like a tactical nuke of toxicity. Oh gosh, I mean, where do I start? Glyphosate, phytic acid, salt is extremely toxic. It's a rock. Oh fuck, dude. I mean, the hemp seeds high in omega-6. Fuck, dude, are you trying to kill yourself? Holy crap, dude. Play that back.
Then I just mixed it all up and I popped the whole bowl in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Then to a big bowl, I added some
brown rice, full of arsenic, and like the purest form of rice will be white rice, and you can tell because it's not so colored. Color means toxicity, so like arsenic, other heavy metals.
Brown rice and some oats.
Oh, the oats. Again, heavily defended. Most of it has glyphosate because it's so thin and starchy and absorbent. Oh gosh, the lectins. I mean,
pumpkin seeds.
More lectins. Oh gosh, phytic acid. I'm sure there's some oxalates. It's just, man.
And some chia seeds and hemp seeds, which are
again phytoestrogens.
A great vegan source of omega-3s, and a little bit of salt. And then I mix that.
You can't be deficient in omega-3s. I mean, if you're vegan, I can understand that, but like it's extremely hard to get deficient omega-3s. It's like so insignificant unless you're like one of these idiots.
All up, and I poured on the melted peanut butter, maple syrup, and oil mixture, and then combined that all again. I really like making these bars because they're so much healthier than buying a store-bought granola bar. You can control how much sugar you add and how much fat you add, and they're also a great...
There's no fat in that. There's oil. There's a difference, man. There's poly and monounsaturated fats, and then there's saturated fat, which is fat. The others are oils. They oxidize. They oxidize LDL, your lipids. It's also missing 15 micronutrients and 11 beneficial micronutrients.
Waste alternative to enjoying granola bars. And I pretty much always have fruit first thing in the morning as well. So this was my breakfast today, and these bars are delicious.
For lunch, I made tofu.
So, I mean, where do I even start? If you're eating that for breakfast, especially empty stomach, you're going to bomb yourself with lectins, fiber, and then you're going to spike your blood sugar, which spikes your insulin, and then chronically low blood sugar. And then you're hungry again, and then you have to eat more. It's so sad.
Scrambled and avocado toast. To start off, I'm just adding some veggie broth to a pan, and then I'm adding about 1/3 of a block of extra firm tofu. You can use
Imitating bone broth and imitating chicken.
oil too, but the recipe I was using said that veggie stock adds some extra flavor, and as someone who's kind of skeptical,
Adding extra flavor. I mean, you're just kind of admitting that it tastes like crap. I mean, the Teflon pan too, full of neurotoxins and carcinogens. There's a study on this where it literally mutated testicles. It's not good. And
about tofu actually tasting as good as eggs, I thought I'd try it out.
oh, tofu has the 9 essential amino acids. Okay. It also has anti-nutrients and phytoestrogens. It's like, yeah, this drug makes me feel good, so might as well have it, right?
After it's been heating for a bit, I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of
Turmeric is extremely toxic. Salt, another toxin. Pepper, another toxin with some trypsin inhibitors, and garlic powder, which contains allicin, which this entire blend right here will cause necrosis, or aka cell death. Gosh, man. It's like, I wonder if like they subconsciously know that all these things are like detrimental to health. Like the seed bomb, and then now another seed plus salt bomb, and the garlic.
Turmeric, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. And I cook this for about 8 minutes.
Nutritional yeast to imitate cheese. That sulfuric flavor from like cheese and egg yolk.
If you find that your tofu is sticking to the pan, add some more broth or a little bit of oil and you should be good. Eggs were
Why are you cooking it, buddy?
literally the one thing that kept me from switching from vegetarian to vegan, so this is going to be a major test
You should have stayed vegetarian, because at least you get some animal fat.
for me. So I'm just adding some spinach because, you know.
That'll probably have about 200 to 400 milligrams of oxalates, maybe less, but yeah, that will take a long time to detox.
Health. And then I set it aside to make my avocado toast. Avocado toast has been a huge staple in my diet for a while now, so this is definitely my safety food of the day. As a new vegan, I'm trying a
It's not bad. It has some MUFAs, but again, it has no micronutrients.
lot of new foods, and it's really, really fun, but I also find it kind of
It's
comfortable.
also very low moisture fruit, so it's like, what's the point? If you want a fruit, like have melon, have grapes, that, you know, they hydrate you, full of potassium and sodium.
To have familiar foods in the mix as well, because sometimes you just need the basics. So I just sliced a tomato and then cut up a whole avocado, put that into a bowl with some salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, and
More crushed up rocks for total cell death. Pepper, trypsin inhibitors, which inhibit an enzyme that digests protein, which means any of the protein that you're getting, for example, from like the tofu that has the essential amino acids, will basically be inhibited.
garlic powder and mix that all up. I like leaving mine a little bit chunky, but that's all preference, so do whatever you want. Then I toasted some bread and piled those babies up with the avocado mix. Then I added sliced tomatoes, sriracha.
I mean, tomatoes are probably hydrating. They are an alkaline fruit, so they can cause leaky gut. They're very acidic. They actually have nicotine, by the way. Kind of interesting. Same with like potatoes and eggplants. Obviously, because the plant is trying to defend itself, but yeah, if you have gut issues, do not eat tomatoes.
Everything bagel seasoning, which is literally the most amazing seasoning ever. Please go buy it right now. And then that's it.
More seeds. I used to eat the everything bagel seasoning as a child.
I know I would love the toast, so that wasn't a surprise.
It was extremely bitter. I hated it. I only liked it when it was on top of like cream cheese bagels. Gosh, I can't even believe I'm saying that. But it was only because there's animal fat that I liked it.
But I was really surprised at how well the tofu turned out.
It's clearly imitating eggs. It's like you can't even hide it. And then the bread will be full of gluten, which is a lectin, which is a anti-nutrient, which means the wheat seed is trying to defend itself so you don't eat it.
I didn't feel like I was missing out on eggs at all, so this was a really big success for me.
For lunch, I'm making vegan ramen. So the first thing I do is cut up some bell peppers, some mushrooms, some kale, and some onions. And then I stir fry that. Then I'll have
onions, again, extremely toxic. The kale, oh my gosh, dude. Really high in oxalates. Plus, it's bitter. It doesn't taste good. It's your body telling you don't eat this. Ramen noodles. I don't know where this comes from or what brand. Most assuredly, it has tons of fillers, gums, a shit ton of sodium, obviously from salt, which you do not want. The only sodium that you should be consuming is from meat, dairy.
my ramen boiling in another pot. Some of the first
Cumin, another toxic seed.
spices I'll add are cumin, a little bit of ground pepper, a little bit of red pepper, a little bit of salt.
Pepper is spicy to a human because it's trying to, your body's telling you this hurts, this isn't good for you.
And then I'll add a little bit of seasoning to the ramen and stir fry
If veganism is so natural and good, just eat it raw.
that up. Eating vegetables on a vegan diet is super important because you need to make sure
Oh gosh. Yeah, vegetables. You know, my favorite part of like natural tribes is when they go out and hunt for green leaves and they celebrate when someone brings back a leaf, right? Yeah. No. Hell no.
you get all your vitamins and minerals. And so I try to incorporate some
Like vitamin A, D, E, K2, 4 amino acids, creatine, carnitine, carnosine, creatinine. Like those things that are not in that. Huh?
vegetables into my daily diet at least.
I don't understand. Like vegans, like if you want to go vegan, whatever. Like that's your choice. You might lack a little bit of IQ, but at least just be a fruitarian. At least maybe have some dairy. Because as a fruitarian, you won't get so much oxalates and lectins and anti-nutrients. And you actually get soft beta-glucan and pectin fibers.
Once a day. After that, I'll mix them all together, and there you go. Voila, vegan ramen.
That looks like shit.
For lunch, I made my version of a Caesar salad with some crispy chickpeas. So first, I started off with some kale that I tore into bites.
Whoever's watching this, take a deep look at this kale. Think about it. Does that look good? No. In nature, everything that's green is toxic. They've been heavily changed and manipulated to not taste bitter and as toxic. So, I mean, seriously, like I live in Utah. I go out into the wild all the time in nature. And I seriously just look around and I try to find edible food growing in the grass, the trees. There's not a single thing. And so in nature, let's say we didn't have an industrial revolution, we would not have green leaves to eat because they would kill us. I don't know how this doesn't get through to these people's brains. It's like kale didn't exist a couple thousand years ago. It's been heavily manipulated. This is not our natural diet. There's no nutrients in kale.
Size peas, and then I added a
And
little.
it's like, maybe I'm just kind of going on a tangent, but like, children, it's like a heavily prominent, I want to say joke or like taboo that kids don't like vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and kale. And it's like, and the parents always like, ha ha ha, you hate it, ha. It's too bad, man. Eat it anyways. It's like the kids are more connected to their nature because they haven't been as heavily brainwashed as most adults. And children have more sensitive taste receptors, and so they can taste the toxins a lot more. This is why children do not like vegetables. Their parents literally have to force them to eat it. With means like, oh, if you don't eat your vegetables, then you won't get dessert. If you don't eat your vegetables, I'm not buying you this. If you don't eat your vegetables, then you can't play with Timmy down the street tomorrow. It's literally child abuse. You're forcing your kid to be poison.
A little bit of oil and salt, and I just like to
More lipid peroxidation and necrosis. I love it.
massage the kale really well first with my
What the fuck? Massage the kale.
hands, and this helps break it down so it's not so tough and hard to chew, and it helps.
There you go. It's not so hard to chew. Man, it's almost like your body doesn't want it.
You digest it a little bit more easily. I think a lot of people
You can't make this shit up. Of course it's hard to digest because it's full of anti-nutrients and insoluble fiber.
skip this step, but I really recommend you try it because it makes the kale way less tough and just a lot more enjoyable to eat.
Man, the meth is really hard going down, but I really recommend you try doing it this way because then it'll be better.
Then to a baking sheet, I added some chickpeas and a little bit of chili powder, garlic powder.
Me in nature trying to find chickpeas covered in powders and salt.
Salt and olive oil, but you can use whatever seasonings you like.
Olive oil has about 9% linoleic acid, which again means more lipid peroxidation,
As
heart disease.
a rule of thumb, I always try to have one source of protein in each meal, and I'm not always
I've yet to see a source of protein. With peas and legumes and nuts and seeds, because they have shells and the fibers, let's say it has 10 grams of protein in a serving for whatever, you'll probably get about 2 grams because they're intact and your body can't digest them.
About that, but when you're vegan, I think it's important to help you feel satiated and full. So for the dressing,
This is what even like bodybuilders who are not vegan get wrong too, is that they think protein is satiating. Yes, to an extent it's satiating, but the most satiating macronutrient is fat. I want you as a watcher to evaluate yourself next time you eat. Just make plain ground beef, make a plain steak. If it's cooked, whatever, don't put seasoning on it. Pour the juices in, eat all of it, and I guarantee you, you'll feel this sickly fullness. It's your body telling you, stop. We are full. And because there's no sugar to spike your insulin, that satiety lasts for 2 to 7 hours, depending on your lifestyle. Because insulin isn't spiked, leptin is upregulated and ghrelin is downregulated for hours until you're hungry again.
kind of just eye the amounts. So I added in some tahini, and then I squeezed in.
What the fuck? What is it with like the tahini, the hemp seeds and the pumpkin seeds with vegans, man? What is the obsession?
One whole lemon, and added in some Dijon mustard, which gives it a really
more ground up seeds and really acidic vinegar
great flavor.
and more salt for necrosis.
And then I stirred it up. And you might need some water to help thin it out.
Diarrhea.
You can just add that in until you reach your desired consistency. And then I almost forgot, but of course you need to add garlic powder, which
More allicin to kill your cells.
is just going to enhance the flavor that much more. I try to eat greens every single day. So whether that's kale or adding arugula to my wraps, greens are a really important source of iron and
What did she just say?
desired consistency. And then I almost forgot, but of course you need to add garlic powder, which is just going to enhance the flavor that much more. I try to eat greens every single day. So whether that's kale or adding arugula to my wraps, greens are a really important source of iron and calcium and lots of other
Yeah, right. Green leaves contain these things called oxalates, right? Oxalates bind to iron and they bind to calcium. And what happens when they're bound to iron and calcium? They are rendered useless. I can't believe like these people are so ignorant. Yes, it has iron and has calcium, but your body cannot absorb it because the plant has a defense mechanism to prevent you from having that, instead trying to kill you.
vitamins and minerals that you need when you're vegan. And then the salad wouldn't be
Oh yeah, like the fat soluble vitamins, complete amino acid profile, beneficial compounds, coenzyme Q10. I don't think that's in those.
complete without some nutritional yeast, which is
Imitating cheese.
high in B12 and adds a great cheesy flavor, and some
She's fallen for the bullshit of veganism. There's no vitamin B12 in fungi or bacteria in the ground. I know exactly what these people are thinking about. It's where they test B12 in specific bacteria in soil, and it's actually where animal droppings were. Gosh damn, man.
hemp seeds. This salad was
More seeds, as if we didn't get enough.
absolutely delicious, and the kale actually
And the sauce to imitate cream because you want animal fat.
holds up really well in the refrigerator, so it's also great for leftovers.
For dinner, I'm making a kelp noodle stir fry with peanut sauce. This is definitely the most experimental thing that I'm making today, mostly because of the noodles. I've tried to make cup noodles before, and they honestly turned out pretty weird, but I'm determined to nail it this time because they're a super healthy, low-calorie pasta substitute, and honestly, it'd be really awesome to master them. The key to cup noodles is...
I'd probably, let's say I were to eat noodles, I'd probably choose this over wheat noodles.
Put them right. So by rinsing and soaking them in water with lemon and a bunch of salt, they'll soften up and lose this weird kind of crunchy texture that they have straight out of the package. The lemon and salt is the most important thing. Last time I made these, I skipped that, and I think that's why they turned out weird.
Lemon, it's pretty nuanced. It's highly acidic, so it does have a toxicity. But for people who are like sick, people who are trying to detox from things, I think that it's not terrible. It especially helped me. I just got out of a cold. It definitely helped me detox. Like I got sick 2 days ago. One night it sucked, and then I'm fine now.
You're gonna let them soak for at least half an hour. While those are soaking, I'm making this amazing and super easy peanut sauce. I'm
Phytoestrogens, lectins.
adding a fourth a cup of soy sauce, unsweetened almond milk, and
more lectins.
Peanut butter into a bowl and mixing those up. Then I'm just gonna add in some lime juice, about a tablespoon of agave, and sriracha to taste, and that's it.
Agave, it comes from the leaf, but there is... Actually, no, I'm thinking of aloe, but agave, is it from the fruit? I don't know.
I'm blanching some broccoli first because it cooks slower than the other veggies that I'm using, so it needs to get a little head start.
I'm at least glad that you're cooking it. Broccoli contains goitrogens, which are very bad for you. Sulforaphane. Goitrogens inhibit iodine absorption. So this in the thyroid. So it is an endocrine disruptor, and it lowers your iodine overall.
And after that, ready to start cooking. I'm starting off with about a tablespoon of oil and then adding in 5 cloves of garlic, letting that cook a little, and then adding half an onion.
She chopped it up, so there's a bioactive form of allicin, which is a toxin. It kills your cells.
You're gonna want to let this cook for a few minutes before adding any of your other veggies because nobody wants raw garlic
And then she oxidizes it.
and onions in their noodles. After those have had
Yeah, because the garlic and onion in the raw form is nasty. You don't want it.
a chance to start cooking, I'm adding 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms, and I cook those for about 3 minutes before adding in 1 sliced up bell pepper, and then let those cook for about 5 minutes. If you notice anything sticking to the pan, go ahead and add some oil, veggie broth, or water to deglaze it. This type of recipe is something that I would have never tried before coming vegan. I was honestly pretty lazy with cooking before this, but all these different food substitutes and new ways of cooking have made it really exciting to start making new stuff. I was vegetarian for a little over a year, but I transitioned into veganism pretty slowly. I stopped eating dairy about 6 months ago, mostly for health reasons. I noticed that when I stopped eating dairy, my skin started to clear up like almost immediately.
She's eating A1 pasteurized dairy, most definitely. She's not consuming A2 raw dairy, which is actually good for you. Man. You can't look at the green vegetables and tell me that looks good. This didn't even exist 50 years ago.
And I just felt generally better all around. But the reason I
don't blame you. A1 pasteurized dairy is pretty inflammatory, and it raises your insulin.
wanted to go full vegan was for the environmental benefit. I guess eventually I just...
Oh, yeah, that environmental benefit, like when you go to the bathroom 5 times a day, which means you use a lot more toilet paper, you use a lot more water, and then you have to use or send more shit to the shit plant so they can process your shit, and then you emit more carbon because you're fermenting tons of food, tons of fiber, and using the bathroom multiple times a day. Not to mention the smell that comes off of you, all the sweat, and all the... it's just like... the list goes on.
Is that there are so many other options for protein, and so many options even just for
I don't even need to explain it. There's no protein.
egg substitutes and stuff like that, that it wasn't really worth the environmental impact that I know comes from the dairy and eggs industry. This was definitely
Brother.
the most complex thing that I made all day, but it was so worth it. Like seriously, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Please go make this immediately.
For dinner,
It has no animal fat, though.
I'm making one of my favorite meals of all time, barbecue oyster mushrooms. This is one of my
Imitating like ribs, pulled pork.
favorite dishes because it reminds me of actual barbecue.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start off by grabbing some large amounts of oyster mushrooms and clean them off.
Go out into nature, try to eat a mushroom and see what happens to you. You either get super high or you die.
Really well. They carry a lot of water, so you want to make sure you squeeze them out. Next,
Imitating shellfish, shellfish, mollusca.
I'm gonna create the sauce using barbecue sauce, agave, and a little bit of brown cinnamon. After I fried the oyster
toxic, it's the bark of a tree. It's heavily defended.
mushrooms on the stove, I'm gonna dip them into the sauce before I place them in the oven for 10 minutes. I love this dish so much because it reminds me of when I used to eat actual barbecue meat and ribs and stuff like that.
He admitted it. He's craving animal food.
And it just gives me like the closest taste to that.
Dude, veganism is such a fucking cope. Holy, oh my gosh. Your intuition is screaming at you to eat meat. You're literally saying, I do this because it really reminds me of the barbecue I used to eat as a kid. That's your brain indirectly saying, I really want some fucking ribs right now.
Nostalgic feeling I used to get from my old diet before I became vegan. This is also an extremely healthier alternative than meat.
Oh yeah, like how it doesn't have 26 beneficial or essential micronutrients and compounds. And I know what he's talking about. Yeah. Cooked meat is not good for you. It's oxidized. It doesn't have any enzymes and has a lot less fat soluble vitamins. But raw meat is just the opposite.
On the stove, I'm cooking some quinoa, and I like to add a little bit of my favorite sauce, a Carolina Gold.
For thousands of years, humans have cooked down quinoa and other seeds, wheats, barley, rye, stuff like that, because you can't eat it raw. It's so gross.
Sauce. It really brings the quinoa to life. It really makes it taste really
because the quinoa has no life. It doesn't give you life.
Delicious. I'll pour some in there and then I'll stir it all up. After 10 minutes, I'll take my oyster mushrooms out the oven, put my dish together, add a little bit of broccoli, a little avocado.
Why do people eat broccoli? Seriously, you don't like it. You're severely mental if you think that is yummy.
And then,
gosh damn, eat some fruit.
Voila, barbecue oyster mushrooms. Just look at that meaty, delicious texture and
He craves animal fat so bad.
flavor. This is the best vegan dish ever. I'm telling you, you guys gotta try this.
For dinner, I'm going to make some tempeh and walnut tacos. Tempeh is one of those foods that I wish more people knew about. It's fermented, so it's really great for your gut health, and it's packed
I've never heard of that.
with protein. Plus, if you don't like tofu, tempeh has a bit of a firmer and nuttier texture, so you should definitely give it a try. I also add in some walnuts because they're another great source of omega-3s, and when ground up, they offer a great meaty texture.
And you'd only need to worry about that if you have a omega-3 deficient diet. If your diet is so low in omega-3 that you have to focus on that, then there's a problem because humans are so resilient to being deficient in omega-3.
And then I add in my seasonings. So I have some garlic powder and
More Allison,
some taco seasoning.
more seeds, chili powder, so good for you.
If you don't have taco seasoning, you can just use some cumin and some chili powder, and that works great. Then I added
More phytoestrogens. Those are good for you, right? Because those definitely regulate your hormones. They definitely balance everything. They definitely don't spike estrogen and imbalance every other hormone.
some low sodium soy sauce, which is going to give it a great umami kind of meaty flavor. And I just continue to stir it up.
Meaty? It's almost like you want meat. Listen to your intuition.
Up until it got really brown and crispy. And that's it. We have our taco meat. I think a lot of people are intimidated by the
Meat. You want meat so bad. Just go eat meat.
idea of going vegan because some of these ingredients might seem foreign to them. When I first got into veganism, I had no idea.
They are pretty foreign. Go out into nature, you can't find any of this. Every plant is toxic. Take a botany class. I'm sure all these people did take a botany class in high school, and they would for sure know that plants heavily defend themselves, and these do not exist in nature.
What tempeh was, but now it's one of my favorite things to make, and you can find it even at Trader Joe's. So this might seem weird, but I love
Oh my gosh, Trader Joe's.
adding sauerkraut to tacos and pretty much everything. It's really high in probiotics
Sauerkraut.
and adds a great pop of flavor. These tacos are so flavorful and delicious.
By the way, I'm not racist.
And whether you're vegan or not, I definitely recommend giving this recipe a try.
I'd probably give it a try to just see how hungry and starved I'd be after. Possibly. Well, that was a really bad video. I really wanted to see more of their faces, because I already know they're malnourished. I mean, look at her eyes.
Everything I eat in a day.
She has dark eye circles.
Absolutely loving it. So today I'm going to be showing you
She's
guys what I
acne.
eat in a day as a brand new vegan.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandon.
Dark eye circles. Missing his outer thirds. Hair loss. Pretty skinny.
Brown, and I've been vegan for 3 years.
Tons of acne. Yeah, your face is sunken in. You got eye bags.
Now, what I'm gonna do is walk you guys
Were those white chin hairs?
through what I eat in a day as a vegan.
Hey everybody.
Dark eye circles. Crooked teeth. Acne. Anemia look. Very unhealthy hair.
I'm Rachel.
I mean, this is what you get with these people. It's just feel bad for them, but you know what you can do. What can you do? But if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm sure you know my story by now. If you've kept up on my channel, I weighed about 280 pounds. I lost about 90 pounds doing the carnivore diet. And now I just focus on whole animal-based foods, preferably raw when I can get it. Raw milk, raw meat, raw organs, and some fruit when it's warm outside, stuff like that. And I'm very, very heavy on not putting toxic chemicals on your body, like shampoo, conditioner, body soap, lotion, shaving cream, makeup, moisturizer. I'm extremely against those things, and they definitely cause a lot of hormone issues. And so I'll just leave you with that for the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I'll be back probably in the next couple of days with a new video. It'll be on probably the gym, because I fucking hate the gym. And thanks so much for watching, and have a good night. Peace.